Hey everyone, how you doing? IntoWeapons back again with you. Wanted to do a quick tabletop review on a cheap $20 or less video, or I should say virtual reality headset that I purchased recently. Got it in the mail a few days ago. Got it from AliExpress.com. There are other retailers where it is available. I just found that AliExpress.com was the cheapest route to go. Like I said, it cost me less than $20. I think the price tag was like $18.50, which also included this Bluetooth controller, which is made for pretty much any Android device or Bluetooth enabled device. I found that this thing is pretty much useless. Doesn't really intertwine with the operating system of Android or a phone very well. Haven't tried it for any other Bluetooth items, but at least for a phone or for these headset, it really doesn't do any justice for it. So if you're going to buy one and you got the option of just the headset or just the combination here, I would just go with the headset. This is pretty much not worth the $5 or $10 you pay extra for it. But for $18 or less, this is a great way to get an experience of virtual reality, which is really kind of why I got it. There was probably a month ago I was digging through the Play Store and came across Google Cardboard. And before running into that app, I really knew nothing about virtual reality. Had kind of briefly or something heard about the Oculus Rift project, and the price tag on it just really didn't do anything for me, so I just kind of never really looked into it. But once I read about this Google Cardboard program, it really intrigued me. Essentially, Google came out with this development of this program where they send you a piece of cardboard that you're able to fold into essentially a headset, which holds your phone, and your phone turns into a stereoscopic 3D image, which means you breaks your screen into two images. And as you're looking through this viewfinder and these special lenses that are in there, it turns it into one image, which is also a 3D image if it needs to be. So that was kind of cool. It does give you the opportunity again to experience virtual reality in a very cheap way. Google released the ability to make your own Google Cardboard headset. They give you the template to be able to cut it out of cardboard. They tell you how to get the lenses, as well as the magnet here, which controls your phone, kind of the button essentially of the phone. And released essentially how to be able to do it yourself from a hardware store with less than $10 or $15. I really wasn't going to get involved with it, so I went online, did some research, and found this particular unit. There's a ton of units out there now at this point, ranging in price anywhere from I'm sure $150 to $200 down to $5, $10 for a basic cardboard one. This one came in around $20, and it's pretty simple. There isn't a whole lot to it. It just, instead of cardboard, essentially it's plastic. But it does offer some really nice features here. This is the box for it. It was very generic. It came from China, and I'm not really sure the manufacturer or anything. Most of the stuff is written in Chinese, so I really can't understand it. But pretty simple box. Inside the box there was some instructions here. The 3D RIEM2 instructions just goes through how to put it on your head, the viewing area, installation and adjustment. It's got how to view stuff and make the changes with the lens adjustments here, and then how to play 3D content that's on the phone. The instructions were pretty generic. Again, it came from China, so I don't think they give you a whole lot there to work with. But really, all you really need to know is Google Cardboard from the Play Store and this virtual reality headset. That's really all you need. From that point, you can kind of download other apps and things of that nature and find 3D movies to watch through here. But those are the two major things that you need. So for the viewfinder here, again, pretty lightweight. It's got a nice little headband on there. So being that it's lightweight, the headband does hold it on your head pretty well. I don't really need to hold it to my face. It doesn't become heavy or anything like that on my face, which is really nice. Has some nice, decent foam in here to go against your face. This is a large viewfinder, so if you have a large face, it'll work great. If you have a smaller face, you might want to look for something else. I'll probably have to adjust a little bit. I have a medium-sized face, so it doesn't sit very well in there. Lets a little bit of light on through the sides and a little bit of light down through the bottom here, but overall it works pretty well. It sits in my head. I don't really need to worry about it. It does scrunch my nose a bit, so it's hard to breathe. I just breathe through my mouth for the time being until I'm able to modify it. But as you can see, you got two lenses there that you look through. I also know that on the bottom here, it's got some peripheral holes. So if you need to type on your keyboard as you're looking through this, you're able to do that just by kind of looking down instead of having to take the headset off. That's a real nice feature. On the top, you have the adjustments here, which essentially slides your lens back and forth to vary the size of the screen of your phone. So if you have a larger screen, you're going to the red. If you have a smaller screen, you go to the green. I have it on the yellow setting, and they do slide back and forth pretty easily. I have it on the yellow setting, which I believe is for 4.7 to 5.5 inch screens, and I have a 5-inch screen. I'm not really sure. I think this handles up to 6.5 inches. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you can read into that a little bit more. I don't think that a whole lot of phones really get bigger than 6 inches or so. So on the inside there, as you can see, you have some suction cups which hold your phone into place. You have some venting here which allows your phone to breathe, which is really nice because even with that my phone does seem to overheat and go into cooling down mode quite a bit. Over on the sides you can see there's a couple inserts that are cut into here with some cheap foam that are supposed to be glued there, and you can see they're coming off already. But that's to allow your power cables and your headphones to be able to come through. This one does not have a hole cut out for the camera, which some of the apps actually need, so you're able to look through your camera and use that as a viewfinder, and then they alter some of the virtual reality onsets on top of that. So I can actually cut a hole in there with a Dremel. That's pretty nice, but that is something if you want out of the box you might want to look for as well. There's some apps that require that. On the outside as well, you also have here the magnet again, which controls that, and it's essentially just a magnet that pops on there. And on the inside another magnet that sticks there with some adhesive tape. Very simple. And that's pretty much it for the outside of the box. Can't really think of anything else that I'm missing here. On the inside, like I said, you got the suction cups, you got your lenses. As you're looking at this thing now, I do have a case on my phone, and unfortunately with the suction cups, it won't stick onto that, so you do need to pull off any type of case that you may have on there, if it's an outer box or whatever the case is. And then your phone will just kind of go in here centered like this, and then I've noticed that once it's suctioned on there, it holds it pretty well, unless you have a lot of heavy cables coming off the side here and you're really jerking your head back and forth, and sometimes that can, after a while, loosen up that suction cup, and you'll find that the phone will kind of drift. And you'll be able to tell that because your screen, when you're looking through that, your image will actually start to blur out and become 2 images instead of one image, and that kind of is an identifier that your phone is starting to slip out of its holding. So one nice thing about this particular holder is that it does clip close like that, you'll notice. As I was using this for the last couple of days, I noticed that you really do have to go back to your phone quite frequently to actually do the settings, get back to the main menus. This button doesn't work all the time. It's not super responsive. The Bluetooth controller is not very easy to use. So you do have to go back to your phone quite frequently, and a lot of these headsets have the Velcro that snaps on there. So this makes it really easy to get in and out and be able to access those menus like you're going to need to. Now, to give you an idea of what this entails or what it looks like, and make sure I'm on the screen here for you guys, good. But essentially what you go do is once you get your phone plugged in here, you go to your Play Store and you download Google Cardboard, and I got a few apps already downloaded here. I got a Time and Space, Cardboard, Cardboard Theater, Orbulus, Titans of Space, virtual reality roller coaster, and Verse, I think is what that is. And I've been playing around with a lot of them. The main one here is Google Cardboard, which gives you some of the tutorials and demos and things of that nature. It also lists all of the apps that you have downloaded under this particular program as well, so you can kind of access everything from one place. And then you can get more Google Cardboard apps here as well. Now this will also do stereoscopic 3D images, so YouTube has a lot of videos out there that are 360 videos. So if you're watching the video and you're moving your phone around, you can actually look around that video and see different aspects and angles and such. That's actually a feature of YouTube that I was never familiar with, and I'll actually maybe show that to you here shortly. But we have the cardboard demos, which I'm going to get into just to kind of give you a brief instruction or demo on how this works with the stereoscopic 3D. So as you can see, it breaks your phone into 2 images. You got your left image and your right image, and as you're moving your head around, it tracks that motion, and essentially that's how you're using the viewfinder to be able to navigate within the Cardboard application. And as you're looking through the viewfinder, you won't see 2 images, you'll actually see 1 image. Those lenses put it together, much like a binoculars. So actually what we'll do here is we'll go down to Tour Guide, because that's probably the easiest way to show you kind of what this is capable of. And I'll get up behind the lens here so I know I'm giving you a good view of what we got. But this is a tour, essentially a demo tour of, I don't know, some place that they got, and I can't remember where we are, but as you can see, as you look around, it can show you, where you're looking, etc. You have a 360-degree viewing angle. We'll move on to the next scene here, which is some king and queen's room. And again, you can look around, and obviously looking it through at this point is not doing it any justice whatsoever. It's difficult to show you guys exactly what it's capable of, but as you're looking through this viewfinder, it is truly amazing. It really feels like you're within this room. Everything pops out at you. The details are immaculate. It's just a really cool, versatile environment that you're able to explore. And that's one of the applications that it has. Another application is this 360-degree video channel. And you know, again, this is actually something that any phone really can do, I guess. It's a neat little program here, a neat little video section that they have available. Which essentially, they're taking a video with a 360-degree camera, and your phone itself then becomes the navigator. So even without the virtual reality headset, you guys can actually do this on yours. Just do a search for 360-degree video, and you'll have a ton of these options available, and essentially turn your phone into a really cool viewfinder in these immersive environments that you're able to view over and over again in many different ways. So that's a really cool part of YouTube that I did not know about. Again, that's 360-degree video, but through the viewfinder, it's a really cool program as well. And you'll notice once you have the Google Cardboard app, once you're watching a lot of these videos, even if it's not a stereoscopic 3D video, you're able to switch it over to a 3D stereoscopic video by clicking that button down there. So Google does translate that over into something that you are able to use with this viewfinder, which is really neat, and like I said, a really cool experience. A lot of this stuff is coming through as 1080p. The clarity is actually pretty reasonable. I haven't had any real issues with it, but it's a pretty neat little app that, like I said, the resolution isn't horrible on it, that's for sure. Now this one here is Orbulus, which is kind of a neat little program. It actually takes a bunch of pictures, and you're able to explore those pictures by zooming in, zooming out, and just wanted to give you an example of kind of what that's about. And hopefully it doesn't take too long here to load. It probably will. But it's got a bunch of the pictures from around the world, from a lot of the major places that you may go visit, tourist attractions, things of that nature, and gives you the opportunity to kind of zoom in, zoom out on those pictures. I think we're kind of booting up here, hopefully. Yep, so here's all the orbs that they have available. And again, you can zoom back and forth. We'll go to maybe, I don't know, see if we can find one to zoom in on here. Winter Wonderland. So we'll do that one. We're just going to kind of peer at it. It's going to zoom in. It's going to open it. And then hopefully at that point then we should be able to view this area. And you can see now we're in this Winter Wonderland supposedly. Oh, and it looks like, yep, there's the zoom. So now we're zooming in and zooming out. And we went to exit. So kind of gives you an idea of what it's capable of there with that particular app. And there's a lot of other really cool apps in here. Virtual Reality Roller Coaster, that's a really fun one. My wife likes that one. I guess in this cardboard demos as well, there's this neat little app here for, let's see, Google Earth is a really fun one to do. You can kind of go all down on the streets and tour all those really big cities and everything using Google Earth. Otherwise, this Windy Day is kind of a neat little app for kids. Kind of shows again what it's capable of. And it's just kind of a small animation that they've made. Oh, looks like it stopped working. And again, this is all beta type, newer development stuff. So you're going to have a lot of issues with it working well, your screen fuzzing out, the screen going black. And, again, that's why I really only paid $20 for a unit instead of a lot of money for it. But that kind of gives you guys an idea of what this thing is capable of. For $20, it's a really neat way to experience virtual reality instead of having to spend a ton of money on, like I said, Oculus Rift or, some crazy absurd technology that they've, had out for a long time. So a really cool new way that Google has come out and I've been able to share this technology with everybody. It's new to me. I really never even knew it. I've been enjoying it for the last couple of days. I know what I'm going to really enjoy is the IMAX 3D movies that I'll be able to watch in bed. Just getting a taste of that Alice in Wonderland in 3D was really, really cool. So I look forward to that. That's probably the biggest thing that I look forward to. Really wanted to set up a virtual desktop on this thing, but I'm finding that that's not so easy. Getting that image from your computer to go over to this the screen here, it requires a remote desktop essentially, and there's lag and your cursor never matches up. So I've had a lot of issues trying to get that set up. Wasted a lot of time doing that, but there are a lot of nice things, and I'm sure as time goes on, things will be more readily available and a lot more apps and things of that nature will become available. So if you have any questions, guys, let me know. Otherwise, I appreciate watching. Until next time, take her easy.